Looking for a wife. Chapter 1. Looking for love/looking for a wife. Chapter from 1944 book How to Get Along with Girls called How to Pick Your Right Girl. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, half closed afterwards. Sooner or later, if you are stuck on a girl, you arrive at the crucial indecision: is she the right girl for me? Shall I marry her? Yours is an unbelievable lot, brother. You are required to decide for the rest of your life, at a time when you are bereft of reason. You are required to be impartial about the object of your love, when love prejudices you in her favor. Unfortunately, such is the cockeyed nature of things that every marrying man gets into this predicament. What you seek in a wife is strictly your business. To rephrase the old proverb, one man's wife is another man's poison. But it is only fair to warn you that what you desire may not coincide with what you require. You may have no idea of what is good for you. Perhaps you need a woman to bolster your ego but are masochist enough to go for a girl who slaps you down every time. Haven't you seen that happen? Or you may need a girl to slap you down but egoist that you are, you go only for fluff that flatters your vanity. Before you make the momentous decision, you would do well to ponder the questions in this chapter. Obviously, you will not be objective, but it is of the utmost importance that you make the effort. To compensate for your prejudice, be extra hard in judging her. She is attractive, of course, but is that her chief asset? Try to imagine her 10 years from today. Do you want her because she is popular, because other men have wanted her? Don't be a copycat. Could you spend 7 consecutive evenings in her company without being bored? If the answer is affirmative, it is a good sign. Do you have similar tastes in most things? Is she a good sport? Is she reasonably healthy? Is she a flirt? Does she make you jealous? Decide whether you can stand the strain. Your jealousy will persist until you grow indifferent. Are you constantly irritated by some small mannerism of hers? You can't be terribly in love. Does she tell lies? Do you mind? Is she a nag? Is she quarrelsome? The Bible warns, it is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a white house. Is she hard on other people? Don't judge by her behavior to you. Is she trying to reform you? How do you feel about being reformed? Has she tried to boss you? Maybe you need a boss. Would she put up with all your faults if she knew them? When you quarrel, who capitulates first? A combination of 2 stubborn mules is bad. Do you agree on children, or a career, or both? Better settle this beforehand. Does she expect you to support her in a definite style? Could you count on her cooperation in hard times? Would she go to work if necessary? Will she help you get ahead? Or will she pull you away from your work? Can she handle money? If you marry her, will you also be marrying her family? Does she let you get around to see your old pals? If you have been too infatuated to notice, make it a point of finding out. Are you proud to present her to your friends? If not, reconsider. Do you hope to reform her? Give up the idea. People change but not according to plan. Do you know her faults? Are you willing to live with them? Do you still think her perfect? You're wrong, of course, but marry. What is a good woman to be a wife? Women want a tall, physically strong guy with his own mind as opposed to being a sports fan or a Trekkie who works hard and is kind. You will get what you deserve. Money can buy you a wife but not love. Ask all the rich guys with ex-wives. For me, the most important things are: takes care of her health, owns her own mind, is not brainwashed by pop culture, genuinely likes me, likes sex, likes to feel a man's essence all over her just like I'm always horny too. All marriages have difficulties. You want to marry someone who will really stay with you through good and bad. Are you mature enough to face reality and lifelong commitment, or will you one day trade in your 40 for a couple of 20s? Can you trust her that she would be loyal to you, in your absence for more than 2 weeks like all them Navy guys when they ship out for 6 months? Can you handle morning breath, bad hair, financial challenges, raised toilet seats, passing gas, etc.? Do you like her as friend? Do you show her love? Do you share the same political and religious values? To me, a conservative person is an elitist. I don't like any of them. Do you have a common dream of life? Do a criminal background check just for fun. I would still marry a girl with some criminal background because I've done time for assault. I don't consider myself bad, just don't mess with me. Do you do fun things together as recreation? Do you know what's in her heart? Do you complement one another, such as are your weaknesses her strong points and vice versa? Does she smoke cigarettes? Does she have good morals, or will she bail when you get cancer and lose your job? Does she love you more than herself? Does she smile when she sees you, or does she nag, always wanting more ambition out of you? Does she make you feel good by her presence? Are you good enough to think of someone else before yourself? Does she view marriage as an equal partnership? Could you spend 7 nights in her company without being bored? Does she have kids? Does she have passion in life? Does she deserve my respect, or just my attraction for her looks? Does she think the celebrities presented as the bomb really are, or is she aware it's all bullshit? George C. and Brad P. are presented as alpha males, yet they're both skinny guys who don't have a strong sexual energy or physical vitality about them. The pop culture media says they do, but I know the truth. I got nothing against these guys, but they are what they are by nature. They're not exactly trailblazers risking it all to get to the next frontier. Does she keep up with the Kardashians and watch other silly shows on the E! Network? Does she own her mind, or does some fashion designer own it? Does she live by her true nature, or is she a clone who likes to shop and thinks the celebrities in People magazine are advanced people? Does she have a purpose in life? Does she want to control and own you? Does she use sex as a manipulative tool? Does she have temper tantrums to get her way? Does she respect you in private and in public? Does she speak in proper language? When a girl swears, I think she is not trying to be ladylike. I don't want to be her husband. Does she have core values, or will she do what she wants? Find out what she most values. Ask, what are you willing to die for? Have you ever thought you had money missing and couldn't understand what happened to it? How does she treat waiters, janitors, panhandlers? How many times has she been married? If a 32-year-old has already been married twice, this means she has probably had at least 5 boyfriends. Something is wrong with her. How much of her life does she have planned out? Are you willing to follow her dreams, or must she be willing to follow your dreams? I don't like people who spend a lot of time with their so-called friends. You only really have a few trustworthy friends. The rest are just there to fill up their otherwise empty lives. I knew a girl who was always with her friends. She never actually did anything out of natural inspiration. If it doesn't come in a can or a box, can she cook it? If she spends a lot of time on Facebook or on her phone, that's a red flag. Is she modest? Is she like the Bible describes a virtuous woman, someone modest who works for the good of her family, or is she a selfish bitch? Is she sensitive to know that guys don't have all the answers, so she forgives you for doing stupid things? Is she kind? Is she a happy person? Almost everyone fakes happiness. Though if they really are happy, to me it's low-level happiness. I rarely see joyous people grooving to life. I see comfortable overfed people saying life is great. Is she fit and healthy? Is she a hygienic person? Some girls are slobs. Is she able to discuss a variety of topics for intellectual stimulation? Is she proud to be your girl? Is your friendship as strong as your love? Is she sensuous as in massaging you? Let's say you like to catch a buzz. Will she get high with you? Let's say you lose your job. How long before she bails, if ever? Love goes beyond trivial stuff. Do you really love her, or is it a temporary infatuation thing? People have a natural level of happiness which will probably never change. Some people are always angry or always sad. She much does she owe in credit card debt used to buy useless things she doesn't need like clothes? Some girls eat too much and it's a lot of junk food. Someone are very ambitious like a man. Would you want to be with someone like that? Take a look in her closet to see how many pair of shoes she owns. If it's more than 20, she is addicted to materialism. Talk to her about divorce. How quick would she be to do it? Will she put the role of wife/mother as a primary responsibility in her life? Would she stay at home to raise kids, if necessary? Would you still want to be with them even if sex were removed from the equation, like they are in a horrible accident and become paralyzed? Are you prepared to be their caregiver? Would you like to grow old with her? Would it be a problem if she made more money? Most men will grovel even for bad sex. He has dreamed of years of wild passion and pleasurable company. What he gets is a lifetime of mood swings and an infrequent and indifferent lay. Internet quote. I waited for all my friends to get married so I could see what happened. All these guys are paying through the nose and their hairs turned grey from stress. First the blowjobs disappeared, then sex altogether. And all their wives do is complain, I want a bigger house, a nicer car. These guys are miserable. All I hear from them is, you're lucky you're single. Internet quote. Only woman can break the vicious cycle of manipulation and exploitation of man, but she will not do it. There is absolutely no compelling reason why she should. It is useless to appeal to her feelings, for she is callous and knows no pity. And so the world will go on, sinking deeper and deeper into this morass of inanity called femininity. And man, the wonderful dreamer, will never waken from his dream. Esther Villar, The Manipulated Man. In the book The Manipulated Man, Esther Villar, an Argentinian psychologist, observed that women have conditioned men to a lifetime of subservience, either for the chance of sex with a stranger or casual friend, or the wife controlling the husband to do her bidding in exchange for her opening her legs up to him. Is it really this bad? I don't know for sure, but I do know that pretty women can get men to buy them all kinds of stuff and do other favors for them merely by smiling and flirting. Wives routinely withhold sex all the time, either as payback for perceived transgressions or as their currency to get something like buy me a car and I'll have sex with you until I need something else. The conclusion is that in many marriages, the relationship is really prostitution. Even though it's subtle, there is no real love between husband and wife. It's more like I give you sex if you give me the material things I want. Women trade sex for food, shelter, and money. Some women treasure men as partners in life, not meal tickets, but many want to be taken care of by some guy even if they don't love him. Regardless of whether you're an idealistic romantic or a woman-hating cynic, you have to be always thinking of a woman's true motives when you meet a new one that you might get involved with. Does your girlfriend want to live a life without work or responsibility? Is she with you because she loves you or because you buy her a lot of stuff and give her money? If you go on a sugar daddy website, you know to expect a relationship based on what are buying for me today if you want sex. Before you marry, make sure she has a warm heart and she's not some cold bitch who will bail as soon as you get into financial difficulty. If you meet a woman and she immediately wants to know how much money you have, she probably doesn't love you. If your wife tries to attack your ego in order to get you to earn more money, leave the bitch. In her dreams, she wants the rich handsome prince who will carry her off to his castle, but it doesn't happen except on TV because the real world is average guys working hard for average amounts of money. Females prefer to mate with high status. Dominant males with money. A drink whore is a girl at a bar who wants you to buy a drink for her with no expectations on your part for sex because she just wants the free drink. Be equal and nice, but don't accept manipulation and bullshit. There's an ebook called Sexploitation. If you can find it, it's wild. The guy did quite a job trashing women. Questions that lead to love at newyorktimes.com/20155/0one/1/fashion/no-3-7-big-wedding-or-small.html. Can intimacy be accelerated by asking each other questions? You have to get vulnerable and close to each other. Who would you want as a dinner guest? Would you like to be famous? Why? What is a perfect day for you? Do you sing to yourself? If you had to choose between sound mind or sound body, which would you choose? Name 3 things you both have in common. What are you most grateful for? If you could learn a new skill, what would it be? What do you see for the future? Is there something that you would like to do? What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? What do you value most in a friendship? What is your most treasured memory? What is your worst memory? If you knew that you will die soon, would you change anything about the way you are now living? Why? What does friendship mean to you? How important is love to you? How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's? How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Complete this sentence: I wish I had someone with whom I could share. Say some important things about yourself. Tell your partner what you like about them. Share an embarrassing moment in your life. When did you last cry? Tell your partner what you really like about them. What are your pet peeves? What regrets do you have so far? Your house catches fire. What do you grab? What do you think of death? Share a personal problem you have right now.